Darts players, Shaun, SWR Darts Coach. You know, we're doing well. Welcome back to another episode in this little series where I talk about checkouts and I talk about the way that I would check out. One thing I will say, and I saw this in a Facebook group the other day, someone was saying, oh, this guy's saying, this way for that and he's wrong. I'm not saying that this is the way I encourage you to go. What I'm doing here is giving you my opinion on the way I would go for something. And that's because it's my route. That's the route I've decided I want to go. I explain why I go that route. I know there are probably routes that you would go differently. And I think that's what it's all about. It's about that way of looking at checkouts that you're comfortable with. The worst thing I see, and I see it all the time with darts players in the pubs and the clubs that I travel across the country and I see, is them scenarios whereby you're unsure about which way to go for something. And then all of a sudden, someone will go, oh, you go this way, or you've got to go this way. And you might not be comfortable going that way. So my philosophy has always been the same. Fleetwood Mac, go your own way. Get your own route. Get your own targeted route that you want to go and work with your targeted route. That way you know that that's the way you want to go for things. But today we're going to be talking about 70 to 79. And these are my routes and my ways to go for checkouts between 70 and 79. Okay, as ever, I'm going to put up here on the screen on this side my little darts, maths, route analyzer, whatever you want to call it. I haven't really given it a proper name. But the way I do this is I use this with a lot of junior players. So we'll put the number in and it'll tell us, if our first dart lands here, what we've got left and where we've got to go for. So I use it for a lot of the time with junior players. But let's start. We go with 70. What's my route for 70? Well, maybe a little bit controversy, maybe not, I don't know. But I am going treble 10 to go for the tops. So I'm looking to get that 30 there. Now, again, if I'm coming up and I'm behind in a match, if I hit a big 10, I've got the big 20 for the tops. I'm looking at trying to stay in areas normally where I can. But on this occasion, I don't mind the bigs, but I'm going for that treble 10. Of course, if I hit single 15, I'm just going to throw another dart at the single 15 there. Because then I'm sort of staying in the same area. There's a possibility I'm going to hit the 6, but I'm aiming a little bit lower than that in a way. So yeah, treble 10 to go up to 40. That's my route there. Now here's the one that's going to cause a few issues around the place, and I know it will. 71. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. Most people will maybe look at this and go sort of maybe the treble 13 route. Not for me. The treble 17 route, again, not for me. Where am I going for this one? I'm going big 11. I'm going big 11 for a big 20 for tops. I don't need to use all three darts. Even if I'm behind in a match, I don't need to do it in two darts. I've got three darts in hand. So I'm going to utilise them three darts here. And that's what it's about for me. I look at my darts games of trying to get myself to the finishing score, not how quickly I can finish it. I want to get to the finishing score. So that's the way I'm looking at that. So 71, I'm going for a big 11 and leave myself 60, big 20 for leaving myself 40, and obviously tops. 72 though, yeah, I'm going to upset a few folk here. I'm going the 18s, I'm going double-double. There aren't many routes I would encourage you to go double-double for. We spoke about 64 on the last block, and there's obviously one in the next block I'm going to talk about. But for 72 for me, I'm going double 18, double 18. I'm aiming for that double 18, but if I hit that big 18, I get a nice start to land alongside it to go for the double. So yeah, double-double for me on the 72 on the 18s. 73, again, this is where I go back to where everyone's going to look at things differently here. But if I'm in a match and I've got 73, I'm going for a big 13. I'm aiming for a big 13 to bring my score down to 60 to go for that 20 for tops. If I can get that nice line for that 20 for tops, I'm after that, and that's what I'm looking for. So again, if I've got 73 in a match, and I did have the other week, and that's the route I went, and it's a route I'm really, really comfortable going. I don't have to use all three darts. 74 though, I'm going to probably upset you. I'm going to aim for a big 20. But if I hit a treble, I'm happy with that. but I'm going to hit a big 20, which is then going to take me back over to the 18s. Now, I do favour 18s quite a fair bit. I always have done. I'm happy on any double, by the way. I'm happy on any finish. But I've always favoured 18s that little bit more than anything else. So I think for me, this is why I plan my route this way. But if I'm at the 74, I'm looking at a big 20. Nice little line across to the big 18 for the double. It's just my route. 75, listen, I'm not a believer in going the outer ball route here. I am going down a treble 15 for double 15. Again, for me, I'm confident in that corner. So if I hit a big 15, of course, I've got to back me 60. But if I hit that treble 15, I can just stay down in that corner and go for the double. Yes, I realise the risk. If I come inside, I'm leaving 15. What am I doing there? Well, no one wanted them early videos, so I didn't do them. But obviously, if I've got 15 left, I'm going to look at my match situation. Am I behind? Yeah, I'm going to go for a big 3. Am I in front? I may bust it and come back for it. Who knows? At 76, I'm going treble 20 to go down to double 8. If I hit the single 20, I will stay there with another single 20 to go across to obviously double 18. But the chances are I'm going to try and get that treble 20 to go down to double 8. So that's my route for 76. At 77, yeah, this is the first one where I'm going to sort of, maybe I could, you might be going, well, he's on about that for his 71 and 73. But for my 77, I am going the 19, so I am going treble 19. Treble 19 across for double 10. That's what I'm looking at there. Obviously, if I go single 19, it's going to leave me 58. So at that point then, I am probably going to go up to the 18 to go for the 40. For me, 77 is that route. I could easily go for the big 17 to go up. And that is, again, it's another decision I will make in my match prep area before I step into the hockey, of which way I'm going to go. 78 though, yeah, I'm sorry about this one for a lot of people, but I am going for a treble 20 here. I am aiming for a treble 20. If I get a treble 20, of course, across to 18 for double 9. But if I hit a nice big 20, nice big fat 20 there, it's leaving me 58. So again, it's that nice line across and going up, building that sort of triangle effect, if you will, for me on the 78. The 79, yes, I'm going for treble 13. Why am I going for treble 13? Well, treble 13 to leave myself the 40. But if I hit a big 13 here, that's taking me down then to 66. Now, what am I going to do in that situation? Well, I spoke about it in my last video with 66. I'm going to come down then that line to the treble 10 to come back up for my more favoured double 18, as I talk about a lot of the times. But yeah, I'm going treble 13 with my first start, and I have done. By the way, these are routes that I do. I can prove these routes. I don't need to. But these are the routes that I go. I'm not just picking it out to be controversial. John on Facebook will probably think that, but I'm not. And John will disagree with me as well. Because again, it's not the way that the players on the Pro Tour go. So, they should be the only ways that we should go for things. I dare say that's what he's thinking. But it's not. It's Fleetwood Mac. Go your own way. Indeed. So that's my 70 to 79. A little bit controversial, a little bit different, but hey, that's me all in a can, isn't it, really? So there's my 70 to 79. Listen, I don't deny I do go different routes for different things. And as we progress through this series and we get higher up, you'll notice that sometimes I'm not even thinking about trying to take the score out sometimes, depending on my match situation. Listen, I've grown to learn to lose a leg of darts. I've grown to learn to win a leg of darts. I've grown to not care if I lose or win a leg of darts. And you'll notice that come out in later episodes. But why am I saying that? I don't care. Of course I care. The difference is I'm not going to go home and have a go at my dog when I get home because I've missed an out. I'm not going to go and throw my darts across the room. I'm not going to go stand at the bar and not want to talk to anyone or go and punch a door or anything like that. I've been there, by the way, but now I can deal with that better because I know it's just a game of darts at the end of the day. It's not life or death. So they're my routes. You will maybe disagree with some of them, and I hope you do. That's what I'm here for as well. I'm here for the active debate and talking this through. So if you do disagree with some of the routes, let me know in the comments. And while you're here on YouTube, please like, share, subscribe. Again, I still haven't found out what that bell is for, but tick that bell. I don't know. It might do something. I will find out one day. Hopefully it rings on my phone. Who knows? So yeah, 70 to 79. Next week, I'm going to be looking at 80 to 89. And obviously, we're going to keep progressing up. And I'm going to give you my way for my outs. Till the next time, darts players, take care. Keep them straight.